Well, in the words of D-Boss Garage, if you're not filthy, you're not rich. So get out and get dirty. Boy, have I gotten dirty yesterday on this thing. Casey broke down on me again. Last week I blew a hose. This week I blew 2 hoses. So every time a hose blows on one of these things, 20 gallons of hydraulic oil hit the dirt. So let's show you what we got going on. This is the valve body assembly minus the cowlings and fenders and all that, which as you can see is laying over here. If you got to work on one of these, they're actually not too bad once you get all this hardware off. And the hardware is really not that much either. You've actually got access panels along here. You've got 2 bolts down here that pops off this front fender section. You've got a small plate sitting over there. They're between 5/8 and 11/16 for the metric equivalent throughout there. And then the big old shield that runs down here, chrome shield, that's really just two bolts up top and 1 down below. So, and then this entire fender assembly wraps around, and you got a couple of bolts down underneath, and then the whole thing just lifts right off. So it's pretty simple. All right, last week we blew this hose right here, and I had them put a little extra line in there, and it's all pulled out here and tucked up. This guy right here, I'm traveling along, and all of a sudden I lose the right track. I'm like, oh boy, we've blown it again, because this happened once before. This guy goes all the way back up underneath, and your access panel for it, it's next to the actual turntable, but it's the swing motor. Now how it's controlling the right track, I have no idea. But anyhow, or I'm sorry, left track. It hits the left track. So this guy here had actually de-sleeved. The hose had blown out of the actual coupler here. Now, yesterday I'm running along and I lose the right track. So like I said, it corrected. Left track with this one here. Right track is what I lost yesterday. Couldn't move the right track. I'm like, oh boy, blown off the same line. Maybe the next line over here. Nope. P1. And on the other side of the valve body, you got P2 back there. Those guys run through this abyss, and then they come out back here at the main pump. Come out here at the main pump, you got P1 and P2, and they come out of that little bitty hole right down there. So what had happened, after 25 years of rattling around in there, they'd rubbed a hole in P2 just in front of this big bulkhead here. So a really bad place to get a hold of. So I went to the hydraulic shop this morning and turned over another 150 bucks on hoses. And so I got P1 and P2 laying here, fixed and ready to go. Now, I sleeve most of my hydraulic lines with old fire hose. Being that these things are going back into that abyss, I'm sleeving them with fire hose before I stuff them back up in there, which is going to become a real major pain in the patootie to try to get it through that bulkhead and to get the hold down bracket put back on. Say hi, bub.
Hey. Hi.
You gonna help me today?
Yeah.
All right, little buddy. High five?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, we'll set the camera up and I'll try to get you through, but dirty hands are not real good on camera, so we'll get this done. All right, so with a little bit of effort, finally got him pushed through here. Ended up taking a stick and scraping as much of this gunk out of here as possible. I don't know if you can see daylight back in there, that little bitty hole there. It's actually an access port, and there's another one about a little bit farther back. So, but again, sleeved them in fire hose. This may pose a problem here pretty soon. I happen to notice that the lines that I took down to the hydraulic shop said 4,800 PSI on it, and the ones that I just sleeved in fire hose here are saying something to the nature of like 31 to 35. Being I'm out in the sticks and we need to get the machine at least tracking again, I'm gonna run with it and see what happens. I don't know if you can see here, but underneath you've got 2 panels that you can unbolt and slide out of the way. So there's one here that actually opens up 2 holes, and that's been extremely helpful for pushing this crap out. And there's one back over there. That one actually ends up being right where the bulkhead is between this hydraulic tank and the rear engine bay area, and that's the main pinch point when you're trying to put these 2 lines back in. So it gets in, and it allows you to get in just ahead of this bulkhead here. where those two hoses are coming through. So like I said, sleeved them. We're going to see how this operates and see if it blows again here pretty soon. I hate spending money, but hey, if they get me by just a little bit longer, or with the sleeving, if they blow now, at least it's going to fill the sleeve up and I'll know exactly which one blew. All right, so finally all back together here. As you can see, the P2 runs up in here, and we'll leave the tags on for now just in case these things blow pretty soon. And well, I wish I had that pressure washer going now. So we'll start getting the fairings or cowlings or fenders or whatever else you want to call them put back on here in place. So yeah, these guys are not hard to get to. This one's not hard to get to if you got this section here out. You might have to take this little window section here out just for good measure. But like I said, the rest of these all come apart pretty easily. I rerouted this guy here. Like I said, I had him put an extra 8 inches of hose on there. Again, this one here will be left track. And then, like I said, when I lost the right track, it was the P2 that blew, which is the one on the other side. P1 was frayed enough to where I went ahead and replaced it. So, and you can get these hoses from your case dealer or New Holland dealer. Like I said, New Holland 75SR, NH75SR, or case CX75SR are the same machine. So you can get them either way, and some of these still have the original Parker tags on them, but neither here nor there at this point. So I rerouted this, come through here, and then ran that P1 up through there. Coming back to the back here, this all fit together pretty well. What you've got down here in the bottom, I don't know if you can quite see it. Yeah, there's a little bit better view of it. You've got a hold down clamp right here. That little rascal's pretty hard to get put back into place if you sheath the lines like I did. I had an extra piece of hose, so I took these 3 lines through here and I sheathed them, and you know, that's the one you'll see right on top right there. So fill it up and see what happens. Well, that's a wrap. I got to beat some dents out of the fenders and do some reinforcing and tightening up on the supports, but overall, looks good to me at this point. All right, hope this helped you. It was a learning curve for me, but we'll catch you on the next time.